You know, when they always say, like, oh, yeah, it's not about what you have or what you do, but what you are. That's true. It is always about who you are, like the being, doing, the doing, and then at the end, having something. But I want to bring you to that first part of the being and what you really are. Because when we are looking for who we are, then we go and ask ChatGPT, or we go and ask, Google, or we go and see what um, what our best Instagrammers said, but we're not actually going to the truth of who we are. And you're not going to ask to all those people out there or the internet who you are, but you're going to ask, and actually you're going to realize who you are and remember who you are the moment you see God and you remember that you are his daughter. So that's what this podcast, like diary, welcome to my world, it is going to be about. We are going to talk about who you are in Christ, and so that's why you can have everything that you deserve, babe. So I'm gonna like let you with my uh, podcast that I like recorded that day, because I was wanting, like to like make a video about it and everything, but turns out the ideas that God puts in my head and that I just, like download all of them into my recordings, they are way better than what can I, like express later on. So I just wanted to like give you the fully stuff without editing or anything. And that's why we're gonna kind of keep this, how do you say this, like this framework, where first I'm gonna introduce you the topic that we're going to talk about, and then I'm just gonna let you with the voice note that I recorded with the téléchargement, le download that God gave me that day. And so you can listen to that, learn from that, grab it in your heart, and do something with it. Okay? So let's, like listen to that and see you right away.
I was asking God, like, God, do you want me to become a doctor? Because sometimes I doubt if I'm gonna, make it actually pass the exam, because I know that's the filter. And I know if I pass the exam, definitely I'm gonna become a doctor, because that's not like, um, I'm gonna study hard. I'm gonna do what I need to do to become that, right? But then the answer of God is like, the first thing you need to know is that you are my daughter. I don't want you to be a doctor. I want you to become a doctor so that I can work through you, and save a lot of people and, heal a lot of people. But you are not a doctor. That's not my, that's not like my aim for you to be. My aim, is that you are my daughter, that you see yourself as my daughter, because that's the main important thing. Because once you know what you are, you can receive everything that you deserve. And if you know who you are, I mean, you are my daughter, then you're gonna reclaim all the promises. Then you can have, the ability to study and to pass the exam and to become a doctor. Then you can, have the ability to become the best YouTuber, right? Then you can have the ability to become kind of the best daughter, to your mom and to your dad. But you're not that. I mean, you're not a doctor, you're not a YouTuber, you're not that. I give you the capabilities to do that. It's the being doing the doing. And that's what I want you to get. You are my daughter, and because of that, you can become anything you want. You can have and receive anything you want and deserve. You know what I mean? And so he was just like actually saying to me like, the moment you don't understand something in physics or chem or whatever other thing, biology, what you're gonna say is, God renews my mind, but I don't renew your mind just because I renew your mind because you are my daughter. So that's the one and only thing you need to know, so you can actually access to this, that your mind is renewing every day, and so you can understand what you're studying. So that's what God told me. Like, this is the number third value that He wants me to teach you. It's like you are His daughter, and because of that, you can get to live your amazing life and have all the beautiful things you deserve. But you need to know this. You need to like actually kind of claim that, like identity. You are His daughter, and we are His daughters, and so we want to know that very clear. So as we are His daughters, then we can act, and we can, kind of, like react and do things He sent us to do, or that we are doing, but we are doing it in the name of, of Jesus. And so that's what we want to have clear, because as we know who we are, then that's how we're gonna comportarnos. Then how is that's how we are gonna manage ourselves, with people and in different spaces, and I love that. So he said to me, like, remember, this chapter in the Bible that says, like, I renew, like your mind is renewed every day. So every time you don't understand something, you're gonna just say that every day my mind is renewed, so I can get to understand this. But again, you get to understand this because you're my daughter, and I give you all this understanding. And last thing but not least, there is a pattern that I have seen, that every time that God talks to me, He kind of show Himself in different ways. And this time He showed Himself in with money. So I found money on the streets, and that's a pattern, because that's kind of those moments, I always find money when I know, I'm very connected to God, and He's kind of just showing me, that, hey, here I am. And because, definitely He knows that I need some money. So that's funny, but I just wanted to say that, and save this, because I know He's sending me to preach this, that I am His daughter. And and He showed Himself that way.
I hope this video found you well, and that you can actually grab the information and make it a practice in your day by day. And this is like a series of values that God put in my heart, and I wanted to share it with you. So this is like the third value, and you can go and check the last two that I have uploaded last week. So you kind of how do you say that, like, you kind of get the whole point of this. And those values have changed my life and the way I react and live life. And feminine energy, it's all about enjoying, and it's all about like giving birth to our better version every day. So I don't have any other advisor better than God for us to really, like kind of develop our feminine energy. So it's really beautiful that we can get to, like, activate our feminine energy from God's point of view. And he talks to me in English, even though my language is Spanish. That's why I'm trying, to kind of do the best that I can. But I think that you're understanding everything I say. And I was a little bit afraid of, like recording videos on English. But anyways, I'm gonna keep going. And thank you for being here, for listening to this. See you next week and send you tons of love. Bye bye.